A Real Madrid shirt is purchased every 10 seconds. This means that every season, the club sells more than 3 million official shirts. In the past 5 years, Real Madrid has made more money than any other club in terms of shirt sales. But this wasn't always the case. About 20 years back, an official accounting report doubted that the club would survive its financial woes. However, Real Madrid has risen from being almost bankrupt to becoming the most profitable sports club in the world. What magic helped the club to climb to the summit of a highly dynamic and competitive sports market? We give you the full scoop that helped propel Real Madrid to success, plus how stars such as Ronaldo, Mbappe, and Haaland are today challenging that. The fortunes of Real Madrid changed with a certain transfer. In the early phases of the century, Florentino Perez contested to become Real Madrid's president. During his campaign for the presidential post, he had promised to lure then Barcelona star player, Luis Figo, to Madrid. The transfer fee was more than 60 million euros, which was a record transfer fee at the time. The Luis Figo transfer saga ruffled a lot of feathers that even Netflix dedicated an entire documentary about this. However, the main point of focus for this video is neither the price tag nor the ensuing drama of that transfer, instead on the change of the phrases of a clause that have been hidden in the transfer contract of Luis Figo. This is the one element that generally changed football and the course of the club. We are talking about players' image rights. Professionally, we can define image rights as the likeness of a certain person. This can mean their nicknames, names, image, signature, voices, or any unique characteristic that they may have. Usually, a player is supposed to be the owner of 100% of their image rights. Each time that any company including their clubs tries to adopt their images for any advert campaign, the players will have to be paid for this. At least, this is how things were until there was Florentino Perez. Beginning with Luis Figo, all players that came to join the Galacticos after signing with Madrid gave the club more than 50% of their image rights. What this means was that each time that the club made money from using images of Raúl, Ronaldo, or Zidane, whether this being through a sponsor of Real Madrid or via a private agreement, the club is given 50% of the money. For instance, when Zidane signed his Adidas shoe deal, half of the money was paid to Real Madrid. At that time, it was uncommon to give more than half of a player's sponsorship revenue to their clubs. Somehow, Perez was able to talk to every Galactico player to sacrifice the money from their image rights for the benefit of the club. So, how did this magic skyrocket Real Madrid to become the world's biggest club? Perez's true magic becomes a lot clearer and more realistic when you consider a certain Galactico player. Besides being talented, David Beckham's move to Real Madrid gave the club something that was deeply craved by Perez. Perez was madly in love with the Beckham brand at the time. During his move to Real Madrid, David Beckham was among the most famous people in Asia. There were restaurants and eateries in faraway Bangkok that had Beckham meatballs on the menu. You can even visit a temple in Asia to pay your respects to a statue of an English player. However, the brand Beckham craze wasn't just limited to Asia alone. At that time, it was believed that everyone on the planet knew who David Beckham was. What this means was that the English midfielder was the world's most marketable football player. Now you can only imagine getting 50% of all of David Beckham's sponsorship deals. With available data, you don't have to imagine how fast the finances of Real Madrid changed with time. By the second season of Beckham at the club had earned twice as much as their usual revenue. Almost half of the club's revenue, 45%, was from commercial deals alone. Beckham had been pivotal to the commercial appeal of Madrid that Perez was once quoted as saying that he would have to sell off the Santiago Bernabeu before he considered selling David Beckham. This same financial analysis about David Beckham also applied to every member of the Galacticos. Each player brought new viewers and different commercial opportunities. Now what you may be thinking is why a player who has a lot of commercial appeal will be ready to offer half of their sponsorship deal to their clubs. This is the magical genius that was used to drive the plan from Florentino Perez. As soon as Perez assumed the role of the president of Madrid, he soon discovered that football was fast becoming attractive as a media product. And the club have the products to sell to the media. He discovered that if he can put together a team full of iconic stars, that team can be packaged like a product and sold to different sponsors in return for loads of cash. In the same way, you will sell a movie full of great actors to Netflix, despite the movie being absolute garbage. Real Madrid formed a relationship with the Galacticos which looked like what Tom Cruise and Hollywood had in common. Real Madrid was like a giant studio that had the infrastructure to showcase their players on a global stage, while such players like Beckham were able to lure fans to the club. It was a win-win situation. The club will be able to benefit from a global fan base while the player will enjoy all the benefits of playing in a world-class team. Earning €15 million at Manchester United, Beckham was then the world's highest-paid football star. However, after just a year in Madrid, he earned €22 million. Footballers like Zidane and Beckham realized that playing for the Galacticos exposed them to bigger private sponsorship deals. This way, they were able to happily sign off 50% of their revenue to the club. All along, this was the plan that Perez had in mind. Create the most profitable team in the world and get a fair share of the profits generated. The fact is Madrid and Beckham were able to earn a fortune from this 50-50 agreement. This is a testament that the strategy is an effective one. This is what gave Madrid the enviable image as football's Hollywood. This was the club you play for to become very rich and famous. But everything good must come to an end. Take a look at the latest transfer windows. Both Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland, the world's current two biggest prospects in football, decided not to move to Madrid. Once more, the reason for this is their image rights. However, this time, it did not favor Real Madrid. Kylian Mbappe is one player who does not joke around with his image rights. He had been in disagreements with the French Federation for months. Several times, Mbappe had refused to participate in the photo shoots for the federation. His point was that if he has a picture with the mentioned sponsors, his brand would be damaged. Being aware of how valuable his image rights are to him also helped him during the negotiation process with Madrid. The fact here is that Mbappe chose not to sign for Madrid because the club was insisting on getting 40% of the total revenue earned from his brand. Then again, 40% is already a big number for the player based on the standards of Madrid. One other time Madrid compromised their 50-50 deal was when they moved to land Cristiano Ronaldo. At first, Ronaldo was given a split of 60/40. However, as he exploded to become the most famous footballer in the world, he then decided to renegotiate with Madrid for a more lucrative deal. Ronaldo left Madrid in 2018, but the damage had already been done. Madrid has allowed a player to compromise their 50-50 partnership, which made it look like the club had a player with a more powerful brand. In several ways, this suggested that the Galactico project had died. These days, players have all the confidence to nurture their brands without any club interference. Many of them are now demanding more control over their brands. Madrid is no longer that famed Hollywood club that players go to make it big time in football. Since 2018, Real Madrid has done a similar thing over player transfers from Atletico Madrid and Arsenal. Since players are now able to access very large audiences with the help of social media, it is now less appealing to choose a 50-50 partnership with their clubs. As obvious as it is, the clause about the image rights of a player was among the numerous factors that triggered the growth of Real Madrid. However, in this context, the decisions of players like Haaland and Mbappe are relevant even more. Will they eventually play for Real Madrid? Or has the plan which helps catapulted Madrid to cult status been compromised? Thanks for watching this video, hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned and subscribe to this channel to get more exclusive videos like this.